So SAP is trying to force as many of their customers to S/4HANA as quickly as possible, but apparently it's not going so well. If you weren't aware, companies that are using old legacy systems like ECC and R3 are being told that by 2027 they have to get off those systems and move to S/4HANA, but recently SAP extended that timeline to 2030. However, there's a big catch. The big catch is they have to sign up and commit to SAP's RISE program by 2027 to ensure that they continue to get support up until 2030 on those old legacy systems. So essentially, SAP is buying themselves and their clients a bit more time to make that migration. This kind of reminds me of a hypothetical scenario where an armed criminal walks into your house, holds a gun to your head, and demands that you hand over all your valuables, and then they don't shoot you because you handed over the valuables. That's kind of what this scenario reminds me of. It's almost like a terror act where SAP is holding these big Fortune 500, big Fortune 1000 companies for ransom, and they're essentially forcing these companies to move to S/4HANA, ideally cloud, because that is the more profitable solution for SAP. Now, a lot of these companies are going to go to S/4HANA either way, but the problem is these are big, massive, complex companies that SAP is trying to get to move over to S/4HANA. And these companies are big, they're slow, they're cumbersome, they're risk adverse. They have a lot of technical investment in their current legacy environment, and they have other priorities too. So why is SAP okay with coming in and demanding that these companies either move over to S/4HANA or give up or forego any sort of support on these legacy systems that they've invested heavily in over the last few decades? It doesn't make sense to me, and maybe that's why I'm not a software vendor. Maybe that's why I own a tech agnostic consulting firm that is not affiliated with SAP or any other vendor for that matter. But I think the ERP software industry really needs to rethink their strategy. I mean, this stiff arm strategy, this terrorist-based, fear-based strategy is really wearing thin, and I'm not even the one that's paying the price for it. I'm actually benefiting from it because our consulting firm benefits from the fact that SAP is creating so much chaos in the marketplace. But you have to look at this and say, if you're a customer of SAP, is this right? Is this ethical? Is this legal? I don't know. I mean, it's a big question I think we all have to ask ourselves. And I'd love to hear your comments on this. Is this appropriate for SAP